Captain Grant, a pleasure to see you. Hey, Grant, working hard? Good day, Sergeant Major Seeker. You as well, Sergeant Orlando. Though I suppose neither one of you is technically part of the CGF at the moment. That's true, but my leave is only temporary. You can address me by whatever you find easiest. I don't really care either way. Are you two the only representatives from the CGF on this floor? That we are. It's out of consideration for the dignitaries and members of the press, you might say. Part of the CGF's orders for this assignment is to stay out of their sight and minimize exposure, hence the bare bones deployment. Sounds like the reasoning goes deeper than that. It does. Essentially, the decision is a way of tiptoeing around the two major powers. While the Guardian Force's weaponry is restricted by state law, it still functions the same as any other state military. We stay within budget, but a great deal of our funding goes towards maintaining and improving the arms we're allowed to have. Those expenditures would be an easy point of contention if they were out in the open during the conference. Out of sight and out of mind, in other words. Diplomacy can be one fickle mistress. All true, but I try not to think about it too much. In the end, the both of us are only up here for appearance's sake. Still, there's an entire company of guardsmen, one story below, ready to mobilize at a moment's notice. Should something happen, they'll be on this floor within seconds, rest assured. Good to know. We'll be counting on you if it comes to that. Not that I'm complaining, but this room is a bit over the top for just two people. I guess it goes to show, when it comes to extravagance, Orcus Tower truly is in a league of its own. It's up to us to keep everyone is safe today, Sergeant Major Seeker. Let's put our backs into it. You can entrust the security of this floor to me and Captain Grant. Roger that. Okay. Interesting. There are so many people to talk to. It doesn't end. Oh, I don't think I want to do this room first. I really skipped these rooms, huh? Okay. Hi. We are accustomed to protecting government property and dignitaries alike, whether it's the anniversary festival or this international conference. Handling large-scale events is all just part of the job. All of us in the security division are contributing to keeping Orcus Tower safe during the trade conference. Words. Our members are practical combat specialists who train constantly for emergency situations. Should the worst come to pass, I can assure that we're just as capable as the Crossbell Guardian Force. Watching the building through this monitor, you can tell everybody on security detail is on extra high alert. Things would be a lot simpler if our fears about these terrorists turned out to be unfounded, wouldn't they? Good luck with that. The infrastructure we've set up in here allows us to consolidate and parse every bit of security data that flows in just like that. Plus, while the terminals here are limited, we're still able to access the database at CPD headquarters. Should the need arise, we'll have detailed info on any suspicious character available at our fingertips. Unless the orbital network crashes, which is apparently a thing that can happen. We still haven't caught wind of any terrorist activity, but it's too optimistic to hope they called off their plans in the face of our flawless security. Would that we could be so lucky. There you all are. Have you noticed anything amiss? Nope. That monitor over there gives you a security overview of the entire tower at once, right? Correct. We have access to every critical area of the building in real time. That includes the conference room, of course. Thankfully, this tower is equipped with the most advanced security system on the continent. Numerous locations are beginning to incorporate video surveillance, as I recall, from the IBC to orbital stores. I've never seen such a large quantity of them in one place, however. How many there are is only half of it. The fact this technology even exists is amazing on its own. I wouldn't be surprised to see them used to survey areas outside the city someday. The CGF's days might be numbered, Noelle. I don't think it'll ever be that simple. How widespread they become is going to depend on the public's approval. Digressions aside, there's a more than welcome convenience for this assignment. Without any leads on the terrorists' plans, all we can do is nip things in the bud the moment they strike, whether right before or just after. That's why we have to keep our eyes sharp. We can't afford to overlook even the tiniest detail. If you come across anything suspicious, be sure to report it at once. Understood. Was I meant to have found something suspicious? I'm gonna save here, in case I trigger a cutscene that's gonna be forever long. Who have I not spoken to? Bro. Oh, thank God. All right, that's one patrol down. Nothing unusual to report at the moment. Yep. So far, so good. We might as well make another loop around. Good plan. You know, I can't help but wonder if the conference is going smoothly. Me too. I know the mayor and speaker are doing their best, but that's a tough room they've got in there. The Blood and Iron Chancellor and President Rocksmith present the greatest challenge. That they do. Want to ask someone how it's been going during the intermission? The same day, 3:05 p.m. Very specific, 3:05. The trade conference finally reached its halfway point, bless. Before the intermission officially began, the heads of state held a brief press conference for the media. Meanwhile, Lloyd and the others took the opportunity to speak with Mr. Grimwood, who'd started his break ahead of the others. Ah, that explains it. Things being as precarious as they are, the SSS was asked to assist with the security detail. Exactly. I'm not sure how much of a difference we really make in the grand scheme, though. We may only be additional peace of mind. Don't sell yourself short, my friend. You're the team that thwarted an assassination attempt on our previous mayor. It's reassuring to have you all here. That's kind to say. Yeah, thanks for the vote of confidence. How is the conference going, Mr. Grimwood? Things appear to be proceeding smoothly thus far. That's a fair assessment. Talks are slow, but steady for now. The participating nations have already agreed to several trade deals. Mayor Croix's efforts are truly beginning to pay off for all of us. Grimwood definitely said Dieter's first name. He did not say Croix. He said Dieter. Thank goodness. That puts my mind at ease. Slow, but steady for now, you say. Do you think things may get rocky in the second half? Oh? Is there something you're concerned about? I doubt I hold the jurisdiction to tell you this as an observer on the sidelines, but the focal point of the first half of the conference is centered on proposals that affect such fields as trading and finance. The second half, on the other hand, will be reserved for proposals from each of the various heads of state. This is undoubtedly when the topic of Crossbell's defenses will be addressed. But if they do that, it'll only be a matter of time before foreign military presence enters the equation. But what about the non-aggression pact? It's only been 2 years since it was signed. The Queen of Liberl did push the pact into being with Crossbell's best interests in mind. But technically, 2 of the nations participating today never signed the pact. Remiferia and, well, Crossbell itself. In light of that, it's only inevitable that a new continental security framework will be discussed. Likely so. My grandfather shares your concerns and expectations both. Would drafting up a new pact and having Crossbell sign it this time not be the simplest solution? It has to be. They can model the framework after the Non-Aggression Pact and prohibit military force between all the nations. Oh. I get it. Crossbell isn't technically a nation. The Empire and the Republic only recognize Crossbell as an autonomous state. It's as you say, Crossbell lacks the sovereignty to enter an international treaty. Economic arrangements alone are not grounds for the state to enter into a formal pact as its own entity. That fine line we tread is precisely what puts the state of Crossbell in jeopardy. I'm sort of getting it, but this definitely isn't cut and dry. Excuse me. But I have something I would like to ask. Crossbell is not the only autonomous state on the continent. Lemon, Orid, Northumbria, for instance, are those states also barred from entering into international treaties? No, they're not. It's true that each state has its own set of historical circumstances as to why they have remained states instead of forming nations. However, each has also been recognized by the major powers as independent, with sovereignty of their own. So they have equal standing. Exactly. They are treated very differently than Crossbell, primarily because their sovereignty is recognized by the holy city of Arteria. The holy city of Arteria, as in the high seat of the Septian Church? Yes, as a city-state, Arteria's territory is small, but the church holds religious authority across the continent. Numerous autonomous states and free cities owe their establishment to the church's aid. And then you have Crossbell, whose autonomy was gifted to it by Erebonia and Calvard. That's how we're in the unique position of having two suzerain powers? Suzerain? Sure. Powers above us. And that has historically led to Crossbell being dragged into their conflicts time and time again. If Crossbell only had a modicum of sovereignty, we could work to improve the situation. But if consent from both countries is what it will take for that to become a reality, then there's basically no hope. I wish I could disagree. But that way, it does seem bleak. Getting back to the topic at hand, I would expect that the Chancellor and President to have their ideas regarding Crossbell security. And naturally, each country's terms for their respective proposals will differ vastly. The Speaker and Mayor will have to be wary of what we stand to gain or lose. Apologies, my young friends. I'm sure you already have enough on your minds. Remember that Speaker McDowell is no stranger to matters such as these. And I get the sense Mayor Croyce still has some cards to play himself. You think he has a plan? But what could it be? I don't know the particulars myself. Nevertheless, it could very well... Sorry, I should take this. Special Support Section, Lloyd Banning speaking. Bannings, the press conference has concluded. The dignitaries are now headed to the 36th floor. Where are you? Oh, we're still in the break room on the 34th. Was there something you needed us to do? Yes, actually. We were contacted by both Chancellor Osbourne and President Rocksmith. They each requested to speak with the SSS during the intermission. Wild. They what? Given who they are, I hope you understand we're in no position to turn them down. The SSS is to visit the both of them during the intermission, and that's an order. The President is staying in the furthest room of the West Wing corridor, while the Chancellor is in the furthest of the East. Hold on a second. I get that we can't refuse, but why ask for us? This is a lot of pressure, Dudley. Don't be such a child, Bannings. This is an excellent opportunity to get some insight on what each side is after. You're right. Okay, we'll head there right away. Osbourne is not gonna be happy that we got rid of the Schwartz auction. He might kill us. Lean on McDowell if the going gets tough. She's the one on your team best suited to handling these situations. Report to me once you're finished. Understood. What was that about, Lloyd? You were getting real riled up there. What's going on, bud? Brace yourselves. Lloyd explained to the others that both Chancellor Osbourne and President Rocksmith had requested a private audience with them. Excuse me? You're joking. Right, it is Hartman's faction that was under Osborne's instruction. I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know. I should have looked more into how all the countries relate to one another. I'm seeing that now. We should go to the library and read the notes on the countries. Not that I can discern. He seems entirely serious. This is certainly a surprise. The Special Support Section's name is more well-known than I thought. I don't know about that. I suspect it's because we're familiar with several members of their personnel. That's the only reason for their interest in us that I can think of. We might be onto something there. Regardless of the reason, there's no way we could possibly decline. Don't I know it? Let's head up to the 36th floor. Dudley said their rooms are on the furthest ends of the East and West Wings. We don't want to keep them waiting. Roger. Yes, sir. Okay. I think I might just get up to the 36th floor and call it a day, because I'm worried that anything I do, crap, will take us into overtime. Crap, we might be tied into overtime. Is that Lecter and Claudia? What an unlikely pair. Who is Lucy? I see, and that's when he ran into Lucy. Yup. I was only in Remiferi on business, too. Guess she caught wind. I tried to run, but she caught me. Yeesh. I must be losing my touch. Can you even guess how many bonks over the head she gave me? Not a one. She hugged you instead with tears in her eyes, didn't she? Dang it. Play Sky to know who Lucy is? Okay. I can tell exactly how Lucy feels, you know. She's probably well aware of just how dangerous your day-to-day is. I'm sure she's been worried sick. Man, a woman's intuition is no joke. Makes my spine tingle. I never do know how to handle him. Maybe, but you brought it upon yourself. This really does take me back. It's been so long since I've seen Leo, too. I'd love for all of us to have a reunion. She got him senpai? Interesting. Why the long face, Lecter? Isn't this the part where you say, yeah, let's all have a bash at Michelin and party till we drop? Very ominous music as well. Not a bad impression. No promises, but I'll see what I can do. Just don't hold your breath, alright? I know. But you won't be able to stop me from looking forward to it anyway. And now then, I should be going. If you'll please excuse me. No prob. And hey, don't forget to say hi to Sieg for me. I still owe him that salami. Okay? Weirdly specific. Dang, she's really come into her own. The girl couldn't ask for a better crown princess. You guys think so too, right? Busted. Sorry, we didn't mean to eavesdrop. We didn't hear much, I assure you. Didn't you, Ellie? You seemed very invested in their relationship from where I was standing. Me too. Tio. Well, she ain't the only one. You and the princess sure seem close. What's the story there? I was her upperclassman back in school. Prep, I mean, not Sunday school. Yenis Royal Academy, to be specific. Jenis. This is, okay. Every Y has been soft except for this one. Sure. Jenis. That's one of Liberal's more prestigious institutions, isn't it? Salami? He said he owes the birds salami. I don't know why. Unless I read that completely wrong, but I'm pretty positive he said salami. That's right. It's not unheard of for them to accept students from abroad, but that is what he said? Okay, I'm not crazy. That's good. Did you study there on taxpayers' money? Nah. Gileath. Old man Gileath paid my tuition, words, out of pocket. So he set up your meeting, Claudia. That's interesting. Well, it's about time I hit the old dusty trail myself. Oh, that reminds me. You got called in to talk with the head honchos, right? They're both real pains in the butt to deal with, so good luck in there. What? You're going downstairs? What are you going downstairs to do? Could he be any more sketchy if he tried? Who'd have thought the next Queen of Liberl went to school with an Imperial spy? Truth is stranger than fiction, as they say. Whatever the case, we can't forget that he's a subordinate of the Blood and Iron Chancellor. As for what he's after personally, I think we'll have to figure that out for ourselves. Okay, I am going to save here before I walk through any more freaking doors and trigger more cutscenes. And then that is going to be it for the day. Crap, is this the right one? Yes, it is this one. Okay. Okay. And then we will be back with more on Saturday. But have a good night, everyone. I just saved. I don't need to save again. Have a good night. Bye.